Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Star Weekend, presented by Discraft. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, and I'm joined alongside world champions Nate Doss and Valerie Jenkins. And what an incredible weekend we have in store for you guys, and the draft. It's kicking off, but we're starting 2022 Disc Golf. Nate, how excited are you?
Oh, extremely excited. We've been talking for the last hour of who we'd pick first, and come on, it's the All-Stars. It's the beginning of the disc golf season. It's going to be amazing.
Well, and speaking of the All-Stars, this concept was a little before your time for what we're seeing. Val, something completely new. The All-Star Weekend really just coming about as of last year. Here's our second iteration, and now we're drafting for players. Is this like picking kids and out on the playground?
It is, and there's a lot of strategy that I think is going to go into this weekend compared to what we saw last year. We're going to have a lot of players, doubling up. We have the skills competition, relying on certain players that they pick here in the draft and what skills they're going to do. So it's going to be really exciting, and we've been trying to do these teams in our head and trying to figure out the format, and it's going to be up in the air. I'm excited to see.
It certainly is, and as you said, so much strategy will go into how they're going to do the draft. It's what's called a snake draft order. We're going to see that our captains in Eagle and Paige will have the first picks, round one, and then they'll also have the 5th and 9th picks, and then we see that it snakes back over to Kelvin and Catrina getting the 2nd, 6th, 10th, 3rd, 7th, and 11th picks, and then of course Eagle and Paige with the 4th and 9th. And Nate, you're familiar with doing a little fantasy disc golf along with fantasy football. Very similar. If anyone's familiar with those formats, that's what we're applying here, right?
Yeah, definitely. And obviously the advantage of having the first pick is huge, but then having that second and third pick is even better, I think, in this scenario, because you kind of can pick up two players that you want and you know they're going to be there. You're going to kind of anticipate who's going first, but that second and third pick, I think, is definitely crucial to building the first part of your team.
Well, and as you're seeing, putting, shot shaping, along with distance and accuracy, all part of it this weekend, along with doubles and singles. And here are the list to choose from. Of course, top players in the world, top players that were here competing on the 2021 tour, along with a few fan votes and everything else. And I mean, this is the who's who. This is the best of the best. What are you seeing on that MPO side? Anything that jumps out at you, Nate?
No, not at all. This is a fantastic group of players. Everybody on that list gave us a show last year, and that's why they're here. That's why they're an all-star. They certainly deserve it, and I think it's just going to be a fun time for all of these guys for sure.
Yeah, and they also, we'll see how competitive they are, but I think, like you said, they're going to bring a little extra excitement and just that camaraderie and the fun that they can have between each other. Now, the tough question, though, is, Nate, who do you pick first on that MPO side?
Well, I've thought a lot about it, but I'm going to go with the Swiss Army knife in Chris Dickerson. Chris Dickerson, by far, I think the most well-rounded player of the All-Stars that's not one of the two captains. And this guy can do everything. I think I would pick him first and put him in the putting as far as the skills competition. But he's great because you can pair him up with anybody in doubles. I think he would go really well with almost any player that you end up with on your team. But also, once you get to the singles, this guy is a gamer. He loves grinding it out. He's so good at just putting himself in those positions to make birdies and make putts. And this course is one of those types of courses, as we'll see as we get to the weekend, that I think a guy like Chris Dickerson can really excel at.
Well, as you said, he is so gifted in so many different ways. You think putting, but you also think, well, wait, just a few months ago at the World Championships, he took down the Edge Skill Shot Challenge.
Right.
So he has all of those tools in his bag. So we'll see if he is, in fact, the first pick. I know that's what you're eyeing up. And Val, on the FPO side, again, so many talented women with so many different skill sets in which they specialize in. If you've got the very first pick, though, who are you going after?
I gotta say, Missy Gannon. I mean, she was lights out at the end of the season last year. She's ranked 3rd, so it seems like an obvious choice. But like what Nate's saying, having a player that is just well-rounded in their game, you can pick Missy Gannon, and I would say #1 stat is her putting. But you could put her in the accuracy distance. You can put her in the skill shot, and she's going to do really well. So That would be my first pick for sure.
Well, it sounds like a pretty darn good one with the year she had, Val, and so many skills available. You could be comfortable with any place you put that champion in Missy Gannon. We're going to watch another putt. Oh, yeah. Again, you think about the putting, it seems like the obvious one, but she knows how to win, and she brings every single skill to the table as she celebrated her Pro Tour championships. Guys, I love your picks. I don't want to say they looked a little predictable, but we have so many good players, and like you said, we're excited to see how they're going to finish out and what they're going to do for the team and the captains and just the overall camaraderie that they will bring to the rest of the competition. We're going to have our first ever Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Star Draft. That's coming right to you in just a few moments after a word from these sponsors.
The crowd was so spectacular today. Just the energy from you all was just amazing.
I love you, Oregon!
Welcome, everybody. We are here just northwest of Tucson in Oro Valley, Arizona at the Hilton El Conquistador Resort, and we're about to kick off the All-Star Draft for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. First up in the MPO division, we've got captains Eagle McMahon and Calvin Heimberg. These guys have been staying up all night working on their draft strategy. Eagle, any preview as to what you're going to do right now?
Previews? When am I selecting?
Yeah, you get to select your players. What strategy have you been working on? I know you've been staying up all night working on this.
Oh gosh, yeah, definitely a lot of sleepless hours. And I can say that those sleepless hours, I overthought it and I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, we know Calvin is a man of many words, so we got to do this quick here. But what is your strategy going to be in as few words as you possibly can?
Auto draft.
Auto draft. You heard it here first. We're ready to get it kicked off. Are you guys ready to get it kicked off? All right, first pick in the All-Star Draft goes to Eagle McMahon.
All right, let me get my piece of paper out. All right, the first pick of the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Star event will go to Chris Dickerson.
Wow. Wow, congratulations.
And I will be appointing him in the putting challenge tomorrow.
That's a mistake. He's a skill shot world champion. We should have assigned him the skill shot. Yeah, Chris is a skill shot world champion, so he definitely messed up assigning Chris. But my next two my picks are going to be auto drafted Adam Hammis, Kyle Klein. They're 3 and 4, and I'm going to assign Adam to putting. I mean, circle 2 putts are one of his specialties, and yeah, that's where all the points are in putting competitions. Kyle, I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to do shot shaping or putting? Just tell me what you want. Kyle's gonna do shot shaping. He's gonna do the skills challenge.
All right, I guess it's my picks now. All right. My next two pick are going to be Kevin Jones and Drew Gibson. And I will appoint Kevin to the skills challenge and Drew to distance.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Do I keep going, or are we going to? All right, my next pick is going to be. I will choose. I don't know. I'll take James, and we'll assign him to putting.
All right, so half the team's picked already here. Eagle, what was the big impetus to pick Chris Dickerson #1 in putting?
Well, from what I've heard, the skills challenge is going to be kind of all over the place, and that's why I picked Kevin. But the reason I picked Chris is, come on, the Dickerson stepper.
The
Pretty
Dickerson
deadly.
stepper.
And I'm assuming he's going to be putting with some challengers. I bet you he's got those dialed in.
All right, we will find out very quickly. And Calvin, auto draft strategy working pretty well, but I didn't know that people could pick their own categories in auto draft. That's a bold move.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little different than normal, but I don't think they have positions assigned to them like they typically would in, any other sport. So I figure they can choose what they want to do.
All right, well, halfway through, half the picks are in, and remember, we still got some wild cards in the mix. So let's start it off with Calvin for the B block. Calvin, your fourth pick, first in this block. Go ahead.
I'm back again. I'll choose Matt Oram. Good all-around player. You have something you want to do? All right, we got both of our skill shot players.
Two. All right, now I get two. I forget who's left. Okay. I'm going to go with a wild card. That's going to be Garrett Gurthey, and I'm going to put him to distance.
Sweet.
And then I have one more. Let's see. I feel like a grandma looking at my list. Let's go with... I don't even know who I appointed yet. I'm between two. The suspense is killing you guys, I'm sure. Let's go with Gannon Burr. And I'm going to put him in putting.
All right. Do I get one or two here? Yeah, I got Yuli, but I'm not going to pick him because I'm forced to pick him at the end. All right, my next pick, we need some distance throwers, so I'm going to pick Ezra Aderhold. Yeah, he's going to be distance. You're up.
Where's Yuli going?
No, I'll put Yuli at putting. Yeah, I hope you've been practicing this off season.
And the last person is going to be Nicolo Castro. Woo! And I believe that I'm going to put Nico at skills.
All right, so the teams are picked in. Eagle, review it really quick here. Who's doing putting on your team? Let's go down by stations. Your putting team is... Yeah, go ahead and reveal where... And we're also going to reveal where our captains are going to compete tomorrow. So, Eagle, your team. In putting...
In putting, it's going to be Chris Dickerson, Gannon Burr, and myself.
All right, and in this... Let's go to Calvin. Your putting team that's going to be playing against that is...
I got Adam Hammis, James Conrad, and... I don't even remember. Oh, Yuli. Hey, there you are. Yeah.
Ooh. It's going to be a tight putting battle right there. Let's start with skills shot. Calvin, what is going to be in the skills challenge?
My skills challenge players are Kyle Klein and Matt Oram.
Kyle Klein, Matt Oram. Eagle.
Team Eagle will be using Nicolo Castro and Kevin Jones for skills.
All right, and then finally, in the big distance, Team Eagle is?
I got Drew and Garrett.
And Calvin.
Myself and Ezra.
All right, so there we have it. There's your MPO draft. Let's get a big round of applause. We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We've got the FPO draft coming up in just a moment. We're going to say goodbye to these guys and bring Paige Pierce and Catrina Allen on stage. We'll see you back here in just a minute.
I mean, it's literally the most popular disc of all time in the history of the sport. At its core, it's one of the most important tools a player has in their bag, a dependable, straight-flying mid-range. But the legacy of the Buzz goes a lot deeper than just that.
Welcome back, everyone. Guys, we have seen the first official draft take place, and on the MPO side, Nate, I heard you at one say, that's exactly what I would have done. Do you like Eagles team?
Oh, I love Eagles team. Team Eagle all the way, man. I do appreciate the way Calvin did pick and then allow the players to sort of choose. I think that made it a little bit easier for Calvin to kind of let them say, what are you feeling good at? And then at the end, it was just kind of, a process of elimination. But I think McMahon at this point does have the slightly better team. I mean, think about what he has on the distance side of thing. He's got Drew and Garrett. That's a fantastic combo for the distance on the skill side. He's got the Swiss Army knife, like I said, Chris Dickerson in putting, and, LeCastro in skills. I think that's a good spot. Even though LeCastro was picked last, I think him in the skills accuracy competition is awesome. So, man, that was really fun, though. That was just great to kind of see the back and forth.
Yeah, so happy to see the entertainment value that they both wanted to bring to the stage as well. And let's take another look at the team here, Val. And we saw that Double G was picked. He is one of the wild cards, and you could only have one wild card per team. So then by default, we saw Yuli had headed over to the Kelvin Heimberg team. And Yuli said in the press conference yesterday, he said, I haven't been picked last for anything since like middle school, and I don't want that to change. Well, you were just defaulted, Yuli. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah, it's tough when there's only two players to choose from. And Garrett Gerthy, he is the obvious choice for a distance thrower. So I think Eagle scored pretty good. But Paul, he can kind of go wherever needed on any team that he was chosen on. But yeah, like you said, default.
Well, let me ask you this, Val. We see that Eagle McMahon, one of the longest throwers in the entire game, has not put himself as one of the distance throwers. What do you make of that strategy? Instead, he put himself in the putting competition.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a reason that Calvin and Eagle are the captains of the team. I feel like it's the same on the women's side. The two players at the top, they can pretty much go wherever they're needed. And those two players are incredible putters, so I think it'd be a good choice.
All right, well, we'll see if there's any surprises or excitement that unfolds. We're going to kick it back down to Jamie. Jamie, take it away, and let's see those FPO draft picks.
Welcome back, everybody. I know you couldn't handle the excitement of that MPO draft, so we got a double-decker on duty. We've got our FPO captains for the All-Star event. We've got Paige Pierce and Catrina Allen, who need no introduction. So let's talk about the strategy. Paige, what's your game plan going in here?
You know, I think it was a lot of who's on the course today, who's practicing hard, who is been showing that they've been working hard this offseason, and who's confident.
And Catrina, you and Paige go back and forth on the course head-to-head, but now you've got to captain the team. So how does that change the dynamic here?
This is fun. I'm really excited. And, yeah, this is nothing new to us.
All right. The battle that has been happening for at least a decade on the Pro Tour now takes a slightly different flavor. Paige Pierce, kick us off with the first pick in the draft.
All right, I said it. Who's working hard? Who's showing good stuff? Who is confident? Absolutely, without a doubt, Missy Gannon. Putting. Putting, putting, putting.
Hey, I think you guys play on this.
She made two shirts, just so you know. She did make one that says Team Catrina.
Well, that makes me feel good. Okay, I will pick Sarah Holcomb for... Yep. And I'll put her at accuracy or shot shaping. And then I will go with someone who's not with us here, but I'm going to go with Holly Finley.
Wow.
Putting, circle 2 putts
Wow.
Yeah.
I just called Holly, actually.
Oh,
I said, call Holly.
did she say, sorry, I'm going to be on Cat's team?
No, I actually said, if you're available, how is your confidence level? And she said, Paige, I wouldn't be taking this flight if I was not confident. So she was
That's
going to
it.
be coming soon on my team if you didn't pick her. All right, I'm stoked because both of my next two are still available. Super happy about that. We're going Haley King, without a doubt. And, I have to say right away what she's going to do? Damn, I put Haley any. We know. She's a killer. Haley, what do you want to do? I'm pulling Calvin here. What do you want? All right, pause on that one. We're going Konopanis, distance. All right, so Haley, anything but distance. Putting? No, we're going accuracy. Haley King, accuracy. Sorry, called it audible there.
One pick? Okay, I'm going to take Jessica Weiss and distance.
All right. Halfway through the picks, we saw a little bit of the Calvin strategy, but I like how fired up both of you are about your teams. You're really putting Calvin and Eagle to shame here on this, so this is great.
I wanted you real bad, I have to admit.
All right, how do you feel about your team so far in a word?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good. Katrina,
But
in a
Kat
word,
gets
your
one more
team.
pick, right? Or you just did two?
I did one, but I'll start the next.
Yeah,
Oh,
each
right.
of you have 3 in total, and we
Right,
already
right,
know
right.
where one of the wild cards is going, so we know who the wild card is going to, but we don't know where she'll play. So we'll find that out in a moment. But for now, Katrina Allen, your 4th pick for your team. Kick it off.
Okay, I am going to go Lisa putting. Yes.
This is terrible. Lisa, you were going to be my partner tomorrow. Shit. Oh, this is live. Okay, okay, we are going to go with... Ooh. I said confidence. We're going own putting. Yeah.
One more for Paige.
Oh, 2 in a row. Heather Young, for sure. We're going, did I already do 3 putting? Does anyone remember? I did Missy, putting. Haley? I put Haley in accuracy. Okay, yeah, Heather, putting. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go Deanne Carey putting.
All right. So we got...
Oh, and then
Oh,
me,
you got-
back to me.
Oh.
Okay, and then I'm going to go with Rebecca accuracy.
All right, so I think... Yeah, definitely. But I'm just trying to think of my title. I think... Do I only have 2 options now? Yeah. All right, Madison, definitely skill shot world champion, is going on accuracy.
All right, so the teams have now been picked for both MPO and FPO. Let's review them real quick for everybody here and everybody at home. Paige, start with putting. Your team on the putting green is...
Not going to be beat here. Not going to be beat. Missy Gannon, Owen Scoggins, and Heather Young.
And they will be going up against...
Let's see. So it'll be Lisa, Deanne, and Holly. That's pretty.
That's a star-studded
Right?
putting battle going on right there. How about skill shot? Kick us off.
Let's see. So I had Sarah Holcomb and Rebecca. And that's just 2, right?
That's
Yep.
just 2?
Okay, that's what I was
And
confused.
then
Yep.
Paige, your skill shot.
Yes, I have Madison Walker and Haley King.
All right. Well, I haven't heard where the captains are going, so I think that means that on the distance side of things, Paige.
Distance is myself, for sure, and Kona Panis. That is not going to be beat.
All right. Well, Katrina, you're in distance as well, right?
Yes, and I will be joined by Jessica Weiss, who knows how to throw a distance shot. Yep.
All
Big
right.
Annies. Big Annies.
Yep.
All right. Any other big predictions for how tomorrow is going to go? Is it going to be a tight battle or is it going to be a total rout?
Are you supposed to ever think you're going to lose when you're competing in sports?
It's a trick question, just making sure you're paying attention. We've had a long media day today. Everybody's had their fare. Well, that is going to do it for the All-Star Draft. We've got our MPO competitors, our FPO competitors. Thank you to our captains for such a great picking order, and we will see you tomorrow here in Oro Valley, Arizona. So from the Hilton El Conquistador Resort, we'll see you in just a bit.
Good night.
Damn, you took
Focus. Get rid of any of those pressure thoughts and really center yourself, like where you're at and the shot you're throwing, trying to just really let everything besides the basket bleed away.
Welcome back, everyone. Terry Miller alongside Valerie Jenkins and Nate Doss. And Val, I'm going to start with you. We just saw the FPO teams drafted up. And, well, give me your initial reaction. Let's start there. What are you thinking?
First, I love that both Paige and Catrina had their papers in front of them. They did their research. They had a game plan. It was just interesting the order that the players were chosen. I think that was the biggest shock to me. It wasn't the obvious choices right off the bat for the first couple of picks, but the players knew. Catrina knew where she wanted to put people. And look at her second pick, Holly Finley. From a wild card, she makes her the second choice on her team.
Yeah, and I thought that was incredible as well because as we pointed out earlier, that automatically meant Madison was going to be playing on Paige's team, and that almost shifted how Paige would have to even worry about, who she was going to pick from there on out because she knew who one person for sure was going to be, and that, I think, played into the strategy as well. And Holly Finley, if you guys follow her on social media, she is posting every single day about playing golf and doing drills out on the course. She's out there throwing distance shots, she's out there putting, and she's documenting every single day of it. So when Paige said that she contacted Holly and then Holly said, yes, I've got that confidence, none of that surprises me if you've seen what Holly's been doing in the offseason. Now, Nate, I want to ask you, to me, I felt like there was one very significant shock that came in the putting department. Are you thinking the same person I am, or do you need a hint? I'm going to go, I was shocked to see Heather Young pick so late, knowing how deadly of a putter she is and just what a shoo-in she would be in that competition. But she was picked relatively late overall. Does that surprise you, or is that just the overall skill sets we have?
Well, there's not that many players that are available, so it was kind of the way that everything was picked. And I think the surprise of Holly Finley early is the reason that she got Heather was available later in the draft. Because I think, Heather probably would have been picked earlier had that not happened. So an interesting thing by Catrina. I think similar to the men's side, this women's side, I think Paige's team is definitely stacked. But I really like Kat's team, the way it's sort of put together. And really, we're talking a lot about the skills challenge because they were obviously are they going to be in distance or putting or whatnot tomorrow. But the doubles teams, how do those teams stack up? And how is the vibe amongst those doubles teams? Because there's a lot of points available. There's, 3 points available on the doubles day and then 7 points available on the singles day. So I think it just all comes down to kind of how you see everything playing out all weekend long.
Well, it's certainly is going to be exciting. And speaking again to that putting lineup, I heard Missy, Owen, and Heather. I don't know who would want to go up against that side. It looks like Kat's team is going to have some work to do, wouldn't you say?
I would agree with that. And in my head, if I were standing there and I was a captain of the team, I thought the emphasis was going to go on the players with the best putting statistics. I feel like that is the one skill set that you're either really good at or you're not great at. But all these players could do skill shot and they can compete in distance, you know, well-rounded players. But there's certain players where you just call them out as some of the best putters in the world, and Paige has 3 of them on her team.
Nate, I'll ask you, any pressure put on someone like Madison, who did get in via the wild card and was added a little bit later, but any pressure knowing that she won the World Championship Edge Skill Shot Challenge a few months ago, and now she's going to be placed right into the accuracy, skill shot type competition?
No, I think, in my opinion, I think you take that as a positive and you just run with it. I think, and really at the end of the day, there's really no pressure. It's just sort of, I think it's exciting to get in there and get a little bit of this competition. You know, it's not so much pressure, but I do think that as far as Madison is concerned, she should take that as some confidence. I think she certainly will, because she is very good at that accuracy kind of situation, that skills competition kind of
Are
thing.
there forehand rollers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
I mean,
low mandos, high mandos, and all
yes,
sorts of
I
things they're going to
think
have to do.
Mad's a great person for that challenge. So while she was certainly the last one, mainly due to the fact that Holly was picked very early, I think she's going to be great in that situation.
Well, my last comment on all of it is I'll echo what Jamie said. I loved whether it was competitiveness or a little bit of playfulness that we saw by our 2 FPO captains. I
mean,
absolutely loved it out there.
Kat and Paige, what an incredible
Yeah.
couple of captains, right? So many world titles, and how many times have they gone head to head? It was just great to see them doing that. That was awesome.
Serious but fun, or fun but
Yeah,
serious.
it was
Either
all-
way, we are all geared up. Thank you guys so much for joining us. That is the first ever Disc Golf Pro Tours All-Star Draft Night. We're going to sign off, and of course, we're excited to see you out here tomorrow. The competition begins. Everyone's got their teams. Everyone's going to talk a little trash tonight, but tomorrow they're going to come out and play. So we're signing off. For Nate, Val, I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you tomorrow on the Disc Golf Network.